We're live.
Eccola.
There we go. See? Okay, mostly. Okay.
Basta adesso senza.
È uguale. As you like.
Okay.
Okay. So.
Sì, siete in diretta.
Oh, okay. Hi everyone. Hello.
Hello guys.
How are you? Okay, so I think we have to wait for a couple more people to join.
Can we see the number somewhere?
I have no idea. Oh no, I'm supposed to keep that here. Okay.
Well, we can't see how many people are in the live, but you can write in the chat. Hi.
Oh, hi. Okay. So somebody is saying hi.
Us.
Good. Yeah, please give us feedback because we do not know how many people are there. So please let us know you're here and. Oh, ciao. Okay, so a couple more people are joining. That's great. We're gonna wait a couple more minutes and then we're going to start. Okay.
Some people are joining.
Hello. Hi.
Said it with the same tone.
we're very in sync, and you can just notice the height difference. He's just bending down, but yeah.
Yeah, I was asking if I should sit down, but you know this could be the event.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so for the people that are here, should he sit down or should we just do the live like this?
Let's see.
Let's see. So do you want me to appear small? No, I'm just small. Do you want me to appear?
We can buy you a step for next time.
Yeah. Fun fact: when I actually am doing surgeries with very tall people, I actually have to stand on a stool because otherwise I do not reach the patient. So yeah, that's a funny story for another time.
Okay, I see. So this is okay. He should see. You guys need to decide, okay? Because if somebody says it's okay and the next person says I should sit down, you understand there's a problem.
Thank you for supporting my height issues. By the way, I'm 1.65 m, which is like around 5'4" if you're connecting from the US and you don't know the translation in meters.
I'm 186, but I don't know in feet.
It's over 6 feet.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, what are you going? Yes, this is going to be uploaded on the channel as a video, yes, unedited. And we're going to talk about everything related to studying medicine in Italy. So we're going to have a general overview. We're going to then focus a bit more in depth on the documents that you need and on documents that you may want to, start preparing as soon as possible. And last, we're going to talk about the IMAT test a little. Not extremely in-depth because I'm going to give you a small spoiler. We actually have another event planned just to talk about the IMAT and just to talk about the whole registration process. And that is going to be something that you might want to stay tuned for. So we don't want to give you too many spoilers just yet. Also because I think everybody that is connected here knows that the ministerial decree is not out yet. So it wouldn't really make sense for us to talk about IMAT 2024 without having all the information. However, we can tell you what we think about it so far.
A couple of predictions we could say.
Yeah, prediction. I like
Let's
it.
see.
Okay.
I think we could.
I think we can start. Okay, so it's time over here. Yes. Okay, it's time for us to start. So
first of all, who are we? As you can see from this beautiful picture, our slogan is students for students. Okay, basically we're a couple of students, just like us two, but many more.
yes.
That help other people that want to take admission tests for different universities, for medicine, for architecture. If there's an admission test in Italy that you know about, we probably have a book and a course for it.
Just like take out the probably. We for sure have a course for it. If there is an admission test, we got you. And yes. So, little guess. Do you know what the little different colors stand for? So Yannis has a color. I have a different color that is not on there, and
it's a special color.
Yeah, I'm a special person. Okay. If you don't have any guesses, it's because the IMAT has different subjects. So Yannis is in green because he teaches the same subject as I teach. Thank you for stooping down to my level.
We wanted to have a different color difference,
Yeah.
a little color difference here, so it's not the same, just so we can ask you the question about different colors.
Yeah, I wanted to match the background, to be honest. It seemed ideal. So
let's give a side note. I see a couple of questions about bureaucracy. We're gonna talk about that
yeah,
later.
don't worry.
We dedicated.
Yes, so please, we have a Q&A session for the end. So for the bureaucratical question for everything related, please wait until the end if you would be so kind to do so, so that we can, talk about the whole event. And then if we have something that we didn't really fully explain, or if you would like something else talked about more in depth, then we got you, okay? Does that sound good? Okay, great. So
the colors. Let's give the answer to the colors.
Yes.
I don't see someone trying. So
yeah.
we have these 4 colors because in the medicine test in the Italian language, there are 4 main subjects. Okay, maths and physics, chemistry, logical reasoning, and biology. Can you try guessing maybe
Which one is biology?
Biology, I think, is the easiest one.
Yeah, exactly. I'm starting off easy.
Usually the problem is between red and blue, I think.
Yes, we recently got a question on the group chat. People were mad about it, but yeah.
So the colors are from the different subjects. Okay, green is what is it? Biology, chemistry. What do you think it is? What does it represent?
Ria says red. Red is either logical reasoning or maths and physics. Would you like to guess, Ria?
This is the biggest question.
Yeah, exactly.
For colors.
That's not gonna give you an extra point for the IMAT, but it's gonna give you an extra point in our hearts. Nope, I'm sorry.
that was the big debate in our group chat, because so the problem is in Italy, maths and physics is blue.
Yep.
I don't know why. I'm not Italian. I transferred here. I found out this way. Okay, but apparently in Italy, maths and physics is blue. I understand your frustration if you have, because it's normal, but here it's blue. Red is logical reasoning. So we wanted to test you on that one.
Please don't be mad on us.
I tried convincing them on changing the colors. They wouldn't listen. So here we are.
And actually, me and Yannis teach the same subject, which is biology, and that leaves chemistry, which is orange.
Here they are.
Yep.
So, what do we do as a group? Free university orientation. So we give advice on how to choose the university that's of your interest, and advice on IMAT, since its part is a subcategory of university orientation. We have one-to-one personal coaching to help you create and maintain a study plan.
Yes.
Also, live courses to help you prepare. Books, as we told you before, simulations, and we have summer school.
Yes, we're going to briefly touch on that later. We're not going to dwell too much on it, but it's basically, if you like Italy, if you would like to study here, especially in Milan, where we are currently in, you cannot tell by the background, but we are in Milan. We're going to have a summer school in presence where we're going to basically do all things Italian related and all things IMAT related. So it's going to be fun and work. You're going to have all the Italian experience with a lot of IMAT preparation. A lot of IMAT preparation, but also a lot of fun.
So, a lot of IMAT preparation, but it's not going to be that heavy because it's mixed with fun. Yes. And Italy is really fun, I have to say. We will touch on that later. So, what are we going to do today? How we decided to divide this live. First, we're going to give you an overview of Italy. Then we're going to talk about IMAT and preparation. And lastly, bureaucracy, before, what you need to do before and what you need to do after. Okay, so that's why we told you we have a special section dedicated just to this, because we know you're really interested in that.
Yes, and I know that most of you are focused on the bureaucracy before, but do not underestimate the anxiety that happens even after the test. So that's why we have a special section dedicated just for that.
Okay, so let's start. But we should present ourselves.
Yeah, who are we?
Yeah, we just started talking like, who are these people talking to me?
Yeah.
Want to start?
I'm Chiara. I'm a fifth-year medical student at the International Medical School of Milan. You may have maybe seen me around if you've seen, the Instagram profile or whatever. Yes. And I am Italian. I have been studying here for quite a while, basically ever since I was born. But I can give you a bit of insight on, how the international medical world is like here in Italy, because I've had the luck to talk with a lot of students all over Italy, and so I'm not going to be talking only about Milan. I'm going to have a bit of an overview of everything.
And I'm Yanis. I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Milan at Sacco Hospital. I'm not Italian, as you may have noticed. I'm Greek. I moved here just to study medicine. So I did the crazy thing of changing a country without knowing the language and I'm studying in the Italian language. Okay, so that's the main difference. It was hard, but you can do it in case you're interested.
Yeah, and he speaks Italian very well, to be honest. So he really...
Can I say, it's really helpful to study in Italian, because the first month or two, you're like, it's really difficult to understand. But after some time, you learn Italian very, very well, and you don't have a foreign pronunciation. When I speak Italian right now, if I don't say my name, they don't know I'm not Italian. So I think that's really cool.
And it's funny because we switched. So I'm Italian and I'm studying English, and he is an international student and he's studying Italian. So that's
just
the irony behind it.
Our lives. So, studying medicine in Italy. Let's start. 5 reasons why you should study in Italy. First of all, this is the first reason that convinced me personally. It's the fact that Italian medical universities are among the best in the world, okay? It's not our opinion. There's science and data behind it. As you can see, according to QS World University Rankings by subject, 2024. 2024, thank you. 2024 rankings, you can see that these are the best universities. We have Milan in 80th position, Bologna, University of Rome, and Padua among the first top 100. There are others among the top 300, both public and private. But the fact is that out of the 26 total universities where you can study medicine, all of them mostly are on the top 500, which is a great positioning in the rankings.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're also well-renowned among the world. So, you may not be going to Harvard, but that doesn't mean you won't be getting enough preparation and you won't be getting enough recognition by having studied in an Italian university.
Italian doctors are requested in the
Absolutely.
The
I am surprised by the amount of requests
requested.
that, I've seen by a couple of peers of mine.
Because they know we're prepared. Let's go.
Let's go.
So this was the first reason that convinced me. Okay. The second one, which might be a surprise, is that it's really cheap to study in Italy. It's really cheap for those 3 reasons. First of all, the tuition fees are minimal and depend on family income in the public university. This slide is mostly for the public universities. Obviously, private ones have a tuition fee that is a bit more pricey, but still affordable, considering that in some places in the world, you might have a medicine degree and a $350,000 debt.
Yeah, that's I was looking at rates for, I think, Harvard a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's around 90K a year. And it's for 8 years, because that medicine in the US, it's 8 years. So I'm not good at maths, so you did a math, but that seems like a lot of money.
It's a lot. Consider that I'm here alone, so I don't have a family income because I'm considered independent. By not having a very big family income, I pay 150 euros a year as a tuition fee, which is nothing compared to other places. Also, English books tend to be cheaper because they don't have to translate them and more people buy them. And there are also scholarships for merit, disabilities, and international students. So there are a lot of universities that offer scholarships that help really much the international students that want to transfer here. Me, myself, I've both managed sometimes to get both merit and international student scholarships. It depends obviously on the university you're attending and what they offer, but it's really helpful if you're interested in moving here.
Okay? Absolutely. And in some universities, the minimal tuition fees, it's dependent on both your family income and your country of origin, the GDP of your country of origin. So if you come from a country that has a relatively low GDP, you may overall just pay no fees whatsoever. So have basically Italian university completely for free and without even declaring your family income. So keep that in mind.
Also, these three reasons that are the fact that in Europe, when I was in Greece, I was searching for places to study in English primarily at the beginning. And after that, I decided to switch to Italian because I wanted to complicate my life a bit more. But the fact is that when I started searching, I was amazed at the fact that Italy is one of the few European countries that has a lot of universities that offer courses in medicine in English. We have a total of 26, if I'm not mistaken, 26 universities, 18 that are public and 8 private. What does it mean to be independent? The fact that I live here alone and I don't have to declare the income of my family that is in Greece. So basically, the university recognizes me as independent because I have my own income, but it's not high enough to have a higher tuition fee, in summary.
Even if you don't work, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not independent, okay?
True. So as we were saying, 18 public universities and 8 private universities that offer courses in English. Also, the fact that the IMAT test, which we'll talk about more in depth later, is manageable with a good preparation. It's not that complicated to prepare for it. Okay, you just need a good study plan and the time to prepare the different subjects. But other than that, you can't find something bureaucratic behind that maybe stops you from trying it. Okay.
And it's the only requirement that you need to study in Italy. So you don't have to, have a GPA, have an SAT score, have even an English certification in most of the universities. You just need to go there, pass the IMAT, and that's it.
And lastly, the fact that the teaching system here aims at making you the best physician possible. They couple theory lessons with clinical practice. They send you in different hospitals. They show you what you studied, and they aim to prepare you as the best physician possible they can offer, because they tend to try to keep you here. That's their whole point. They give a lot in the medical universities because Italy needs doctors, and they tend to try to keep them here. So the preparation after you've got your degree usually tends to be of a high quality.
Yes. And I think we can attest on it. We're third, we're fifth year, so I'm almost done. He's more than halfway done. Yeah. So we kind of have an overview of everything that we can offer, I think.
Yeah. So
what is the Italian university system structured like? Technically, you're not going to find the one that offers medicine here, because medicine is a single university course, single university degree. Thank you for stooping down again. I notice. Even if I don't tell you, just know that I notice. So usually the Italian system is structured into 3 cycles. A 3-year degree course. So let's say you want to study engineering, okay? When you study engineering, no, you're going to be so much lower than... No, you're going to be the same height as me.
Yeah. I'm standing down, guys, just so you know. I'm sitting.
He's helping me. So, you want to study engineering here, okay? You're going to need a high school diploma to enter a 3-year degree course. At the end of the year, you get your first graduation. Then, after the first graduation of engineering, you're going to enter into a 2-year master degree. At that point, you have chosen what you like most about engineering already, let's say. So you want to do biomedical engineering, and you're going to focus on a specific aspect of biomedical engineering. And to do that, you're going to have to do 2 more years, the 2-year master degree, which requires, of course, the graduation from the one before. And then we have a PhD. PhD is usually a doctorate, a research doctorate, that requires usually the master's degree. However, some universities don't really require it, and it usually lasts lasts at least 3 years. However, at the end of it, of course, you can do research, you can do a lot of things. For example, you can also do a PhD in Italy after graduating medicine. So you do your 6-year course. That counts basically as the 3 plus 2. So it's like you've finished everything in your university preparation, and you can go to already do your doctorate or your research thesis. Usually it ends with a research thesis. Okay? Does that make sense? How old are the most med students when starting? It's very wide, actually.
Yeah.
I started when I was 19, because that's when Italian students usually finish. However, it's very likely for Italian students not to pass it on their first try, not to pass the IMAT on their first try. I had a good enough preparation.
I didn't. I had to try the second time.
And
I started when I was 20. That's why.
Yeah, but I have, classmates that started when they were 27. I have classmates that started when they were 31, 35. I even had a classmate that was 65.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Wow. That's
Actually, we have, in my year, we have one that is 60 something, and this year's first year students have 2 of them.
Wow.
So it's not that uncommon, to find people that are much older than you. The importance is the interest in studying medicine.
Yeah.
Don't let age stop you from doing it.
And nobody judges you from your age, to be honest. You're not early, you're not late. It's just the right time, to be honest, whenever you choose to start.
Okay, let's talk about the grading system, because this is one of the things that confused me a lot when I moved here. Every country has its own grading system. Obviously, Italy has its own. So they use 2 grading systems, one for exams and one for when you graduate. For the exams, they use a scale in 30ths, so from 0 to 30. The minimum to pass is 18 out of 30, and the maximum is 30 out of 30. If you're really good, maybe it's you don't have a single error on your written exam or oral exam, you can get an extra supplement, which is called lode here in Italy, which is attributed in other countries such as cum laude, or L means lode in this case.
It's like with honors.
So it's good job.
Yeah, 30 with honors.
Everything is correct, but you're really good, so extra points for you. For the graduation mark, instead, we have a scale in hundreds, from 0 to 110.
Not 100, we don't know why, it's 110.
They decided they wanted 10 extra points just to confuse people. When I came here, first thing I said, okay, 100, so its maximum is going to be 100. They're like, no, it's 110. Like, but why? What's the point? They decided it's this way, we just accept it. So the minimum is 66 and the maximum is 110. Obviously here, as we said before, there's an extra cum laude that can be attributed if your thesis is very well written and you've had a good academic career. Okay? Here we've given you a conversion table because we know how hard it can be to understand the different scales in each country. So we have the 30ths here, the hundreds, the letters that correspond, and an evaluation based on how that grade is viewed, let's say.
Yeah, because I don't know if you knew, but there are some countries that actually have just evaluation like very good, good job, and that's it. They don't have like marks actually.
That's so good though.
Yeah, that's so good. But that really surprised me because I've always been used to having marks, you know?
Me
As an
too,
Italian, we were very used to that. Like it's
to
not
numbers.
letters. Yeah, we're very used to numbers, like more than letters, more than anything else.
I think that the evaluation system that we have here would be way less stressful.
Yep.
Anyway, so the degree in medicine and surgery, let's talk about it from, let's say, bigger point of view. Let's give you the main points. As Chiara said before, it's a 6-year course, okay? It's a 6-year course. During those 6 years, you take different exams that one may be bigger than the other, and every exam has a certain amount of CFUs attributed to it. CFUs are a unit of measure here in Italy for these exams that correspond to learning units of 25 hours, which can be lesson times, individual study time. For example, if a specific exam has 10 CFUs, it means that the total preparation between individual study and lesson time is of 250 hours, okay? So you take the exam they give you a vote, that we said before, a mark here, and when you pass the exam, you get all the CFUs. You never get less than the maximum, because it's a total of 360 CFUs that you need to get in order to be able to get your degree. Okay, so different exams in every semester. Typically, it's 30 CFUs every semester, since it's 6 years and 60 CFUs every year. In order to get your degree, you need, as we said, to get all the 360 CFUs and then take a final exam, which involves discussing a thesis in front of a committee. Okay, so you finish your 6 years, get all the 360 CFUs, and prepare a thesis to discuss in front of a committee. Okay?
And once you graduate, you're a doctor already. So there's no habilitation exam that you need to take. You graduate and you're considered to be a doctor.
Exactly. Common features. I'm not sure if there is a difference, or I just can't see one. Well, there are a couple of common features we can say. Let's give them all. So, wanna tell me?
Yes. So, which are the most common features that you are going to find in almost every single Italian university? The possibility to do Erasmus, which I think you may know what it is. If you don't know, Erasmus is the possibility to take a part of your study journey abroad. I did it. I got back almost a year ago from France, and it was very fulfilling. So I highly recommend you do it. This is the most common feature that every university has. There are other possibilities to go abroad depending on the single universities. The possibility, of course, the thesis, which is always gonna be in the 6th year, and usually, not always, but most universities have the last semester of the 6th year free, so that you can work only on your thesis and on the exams that maybe you didn't take or that you didn't feel comfortable taking earlier. So that's something that I think 3/4 of the Italian universities do. Exams are not just multiple choice. Exams are also oral. They are also oral. Believe me, however, that is going to be much helpful in remembering things in the long run.
True. I agree.
I can tell you that I remember much better the exams that I did have to take like in presence, in front of a professor talking to him, rather than the exams that I just had to take multiple choice. We have small classes. My class right now is of 30 people. We started when we were 50. Right now in Milan we are 70, so not that many.
Typically in the universities that have courses in English, the students tend to be less, while the Italian ones have, it depends on the university, obviously, but for example, in my course, we're 150, just because we have big spaces, it's a bigger university, so the course can have a lot more students. I wanted to say one thing about the oral and written exams. I agree with Chiara, because, as I told you before, I came here without knowing the language. Okay, so you can imagine that the fact that I had to prepare oral exams in Italian, for me, for example, was really challenging. But it's manageable. I did it, so you can do it too. And it helped me learning the language, but it also helped me remember everything that I studied while learning the language. So I think it's really fun to do these oral exams, just so you can challenge a bit yourself and learn better. That's my opinion. It's kind of masochistic, I know.
No, but I really agree. Like in the long run, believe me, I was in Erasmus. I had, I came into contact with people from other countries other than France, and I was overall much better prepared than they were in many different topics. I was surprised by it, but I think it's also because of oral examinations. So I really do agree. We have an interesting question, which is, can you take exams or classes from the upper level? So for example, second year, taking classes required for third years. No, you cannot.
Short answer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't.
Believe me though, it's for a reason. The reason is that you are building slowly your blocks of knowledge. So it wouldn't make sense for you as a second year that is still learning the basics to take advanced classes. You will learn much better and you will understand much better once you have, done all the steps prior already.
There's no point in studying maybe pathology, which is a third year subject at my university, if you haven't learned the basics that are behind it. So if they allowed you to do it, it would be way much harder. Every exam has a logical reasoning for time they decided to put it during the 6-year course. So they don't allow you to do that thing, mostly because it would be really, really hard to try and it would make you lose time. So,
and also believe me, when you have free time as a med student, please go somewhere. Please visit
Oh,
a
yeah.
city. Please take your time off. Don't just focus on medicine.
you can also sleep. Just do everything you want. Just use your free time.
Yeah, me and
there for a
Yanis are
reason.
very sleep deprived. Okay, so very quickly, there's also the international environment. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't worry. The English certificate I already talked about, but believe me that most of the people that make up the medicine and English classes are actually not Italians. So they are mainly people coming from all over the world. Italians are just a minority. They're like 20-25%.
Italians being a minority in Italy is the irony.
Fine.
It's the
Yeah,
irony.
the irony behind it.
Okay, so where can you study medicine in Italy? I don't know if you can see it because
Yeah, they can see it. It's
Okay.
just us that it's the
Okay, perfect.
very
So we gave you a
right.
map. So we have all the major cities. You can see that there are a lot of universities. As we told you before, we have 18 public universities and 8 private where you can study. So we decided to make a list with all the universities so you can have an idea of how many places each university offers for European students and non-European students. So we're going to give you just 5-6 seconds for in case you can.
Yeah, but like if you can see, as you can see, Cagliari is new. It has recently been announced. It's in Sardinia, which is wonderful, to be honest. Not because my family has Sardinian origins, absolutely not. But
It's still beautiful. I
Yeah.
don't have Sardinian origins, but it's great. I endorse it.
Absolutely. And so if you want to study, in a place that is basically sunny all around, then I think Cagliari may be a very good option.
I agree. These are all public universities. These are also public universities.
And as you can see, we also have the dentistry course. Please do not mistake Siena for a medicine course. Many students in the past have done that. Do not make that mistake. Siena is only for dentistry, whereas Rome La Sapienza is for both medicine and dentistry.
And as you can see, there are less places for dentistry. So
Because it likes teeth, come on.
Yeah. These are the private ones. As you can see, you could have guessed that from the picture, probably.
Yes.
We have San Raffaele, which is in Milan, Cattolica, which is in Rome, Humanitas, which is also in Milan, and MedTech, which is medicine and technical engineering.
It's the idea that you have a double degree, basically. And that's not just with private universities. There is also one public university that offers a double degree, which is Polimarche, which is in Ancona, located in around the mid part of Italy. So if you want to have a double degree but don't want to, sell a kidney, then the best option is probably Polimarche.
Yeah, those are medicine in English, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, absolutely. Just medicine in English.
All medicine English.
And we expect for them to increase in the next years.
Yes.
So they're already increasing. With respect to when I took the test, it was much more. There were many fewer places. Oh my God, it was much more competitive. But yeah.
These are the last 4 that we were telling about the private.
One fun fact about Bolzano is that actually you're going to end up as a triple language, because Bolzano is in the very north, is on the border with Germany, and in that part of Italy, you speak both Italian and German. So you're going to end up basically with 3 languages perfect by the time you're done.
True.
With respective seniors, I mean, to be honest, respective seniors, what do you mean by respective seniors? You want people that have graduated from all the universities, or the graduation rate? Because the graduation rate is pretty high from what I know. In almost every Italian university, people tend to graduate.
I think it's more
It's like
apply to those specific universities. I think it's more for the information.
Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but I may have a solution for you, so stay tuned.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about some of those universities that we showed.
You see this? No, wait. This is where I study. Here.
I live 5 minutes from it.
You do? Wow. Okay. And you never come to see me. So that is Lita, which is located in Segrate. I know it's not really in Milan, it's a bit outside of Milan. However, that's just where the lessons are going to be located. And the two preclinical years. So the University of IMS, it's divided into two preclinical years where you learn the basics, so anatomy, physiology, everything that helps you basically build up the little blocks that we're talking about for the 4 clinical years, from 3rd to 6th. That's when you will start your clerkship, so that's when you will go to hospitals. That right here is the main hospital we go to, which is Niguarda, which is the 50th hospital of the world.
It's really good.
It's the 50th best hospital of the world. And that's great. We definitely do learn a lot from there. And what do I mean by free mover clinical clerkship? It's the possibility for IMS students to take part of the clerkships from their exams abroad in any hospital they choose of any part of the world, and to come back and have them recognized. So yes, so that's something that's
really interesting and really good.
Not every university offers. I think we got pretty lucky for it. But I really do enjoy studying in Milan. I think it has really, really many perks. And if you're, not 100% sure, I think it's a good possibility because almost every big subject has a good ward, either in Niguarda or in the 3,000 hospitals of Milan, because we don't just go to Niguarda, we go to many others.
Like 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
I've been to 13 hospitals. So yes.
More than 12. Okay.
Yeah,
I learned that. I learned something today. I was today years old when I found out.
Yes. So you are definitely gonna have space to learn and room to have. A little close, but not really. Even if it says Milan Bicocca, it's located in Bergamo, which is not Milan. It's like
a whole different city.
Yeah, a whole different city. I would not suggest looking for houses in Milan if you're planning to study in Bicocca. And it has a sort of like same structure, so 2 horizontal tracks and 4 vertical ear tracks. Idea is the same. However, please note that Bicocca actually has a more of a biomedical engineering approach, especially in the first 2 years. So you have actually professors that are biomedical engineers that really explains how a radiology machine works, for example. So that's a whole other thing that usually does not happen. So be advised for that. Pavia instead was the first IMAT course in Italy. It's still a very well-known and prestigious university. So, wow. And it has a huge campus, which is called La Nave. Which means?
The ship.
Yeah.
Let's translate Italian.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
A Greek guy translating Italian.
Yes. I mean,
To an Italian.
Sorry, I've been speaking English too much. You can start clerkships here from the first year, so basic clerkships. And you have a lot of, again, theory, but also practical work. And yes, there's also the Harvey Met Sock, which offers a lot of things. So yeah, the white coat ceremony, which we also do. On our 3rd year, when we started our clerkship, we have a white coat ceremony, which is very American. I would show you pictures, but I did not look good in them, so I'm not gonna. But
impossible.
Yeah, oh, thank you. Yeah, it's very fun. It's something that more and more universities are offering because they know that it's something students really, really like. So yes, you're gonna have also your white coat ceremony in Pavia and in Milan. Bologna is the only university that offers a curricular dissection lab. So wow, I wish Milan had it, to be honest. I was able to do it, but not curricular. So, and in the first year, you do also basic life support resuscitation, which again, wow. But Bologna is a wonderful university. It's very clinical and it's very practical approach, as you can see. And also in this case, you start to do clerkship from your first year. Again, very basic, nothing too advanced, but that's why it's one of the most requested with Milan, as you could see from what Yanis was telling you before. Rome La Sapienza, it's also extremely requested because of the didactics lab and the section room. And the difference between the others is that it's located in what we call University City or Città Universitaria. And It's basically a whole like American college campus. Picture it. You have medicine in English, medicine in Italian, engineering, architecture. You have every single university in the same spot. So there's a whole possibility to meet a ton of university students that probably you wouldn't get to meet on a daily basis, at least. You know, you can still meet them. I've met people from that were not medical students. I've had this opportunity. I'm not saying luck. University of Turin instead as a sort of clinical backbone instead. So it's not really preclinical and clinical years like Bologna, like Milan, and like Bicocca. This has a sort of like clinical backbone that starts a little bit earlier. So as you can see, also in this case, you start doing clerkship from the first year. However, like in Milan, it's not really in Milan. It's not really in Turin. It's a little bit outside in Orbassano. So be careful also when you're transferring. Okay, so we have a question. So you mean there are no classes for, no, not officially, no. However, there is the possibility to look at autopsies. It's not in the direct curriculum. There are the possibilities to do them. I have done them. I was lucky enough. But for example, there was the possibility before COVID to actually do dissection and the autopsy. With COVID, it got into a little bit of problems, so we had to find like outside sources to do it, but we still managed. So it's not curricular, okay? I made a mistake. So that's spoiler that I was telling you about. The university guides are the things that I'm most proud of because I've written a couple of them and they are all done by talking to somebody that is studying directly there, that is living directly in the city. So there are direct recommendations of where to study, where to live, what are the pros and cons of every university. So everything that, like the canteen, if there are scholarships, how to enroll into the different universities, because we know enrollment process is very different. So if you're interested, we have one on almost every single medical school public medical school in Italy, and a couple for the privates as well. So we really do recommend it to check it out. You can just, click the QR code, scan the QR code right there. And yeah, so we don't have a group with seniors that you can talk to, but we have interviewed them for you.
Yeah.
But we have interviewed them for you. That's the issue behind it. Thank you. That's nice. Well, clinical clerkships in La Sapienza, they are present. They are present from the third year. And I know that instead they're just usually in a couple of hospitals. So yeah, they are in Umberto I or in Gemelli Hospital, which I think you may have heard because it's also one of the best hospitals. It's not as good as
Really
Niguarda.
famous.
Not as good as Niguarda.
But it depends.
Yes, but it's still very well ranked and very well respected. It's where the COVID virus genome was scanned for the first time. Do they require IGSC when applying for A-level when applying for, no, just A-levels are enough. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about that in a sec. But yes.
So what are the post-graduation opportunities? You finished your 6 years. What can you do here in Italy? The first choice of many students is to prepare for the Italian residency program. To get into the Italian residency program, you have to take the national SSM test, which is a multiple choice based question. You decide beforehand where you want to get into, and you try it, and based on your score, it's like the IMAT test basically. The function of it is to give, how can we say that? I'm trying to find the right words. La graduatoria. How can we say
ranking.
that? Okay, yeah, you
ranking
basically before taking the national SSM test, there's a ranking list from the most requested residencies to the least requested residencies. They attribute certain points to the highest residencies at the lowest, and based on your score on the SSM test, you get into one or the other. If you don't want to get in the residency program, there are a lot of other things you can do actually. We've put 4 here, but actually there are a lot more. You can replace general practitioners and pediatricians. you can become a military doctor in case you're interested, or a doctor for IMS or INAIL, which are
which are basically work-related doctors. So they specialize in environmental medicine and in occupational medicine. So the diseases that come from doing specific jobs, and for example, like healthcare worker may get, I don't know, HIV by pinching with an infected needle, for example. That's something that's called occupational medicine.
Basically, what you can do without getting in the residency program is do everything that a basic doctor could do, like substitute other practitioners or work as a doctor on boats for AIMS, as we said, or in continuous care services. If you want to do something more specific, you have to get into the residency program, okay?
Which are also, very good, and they are present all over Italy. However, those are in Italian. Let's just point that out.
It was one of the reasons I decided to actually do it to study medicine in Italian.
Neither you're gonna convince them just to come to Italy to study medicine in Italian.
Because if you want to do the residency here, then it's in Italian. You might as well do medicine in Italian, because the whole SSM test is an Italian-based questionnaire. So if you've studied in English and then you have to prepare for an Italian test, there's a bit more work to do. If you prepare yourself in Italian, then...
Look, wow! And let's look at the answer right here. We anticipated you. We know where you're gonna ask that question.
We knew you wanted that.
And we got the answer for you. Oh my god, yes.
Yes, it will be.
Yes. So you can go everywhere in Europe, not just the European Union, just Europe, and in Switzerland, yes. You're not going to have take any other additional requests or any additional exams. Usually Switzerland, for example, it's more meeting based. So you send your curriculum. If they like you, they let you in for a meeting. You talk a bit with them. You tell them why you're interested in that specific specialty and in that specific hospital. And then they let you know a couple of months later if you're in or not. Then for the UK, it's a whole lot of process. Usually you have to start from the 5th year. So I have some of my friends that are already starting to apply in order not to lose 1 year of exam preparation. And again, you must attend a 1-year foundation program, which is called F1 level. And then once you qualify, if you're already qualified, great, but usually they're not qualified directly. However, for example, at IMS, the secretary's office, so the IMS office, really helps you with the contact between the UK and Italy. I know because, again, my friends are doing it. So I'm not really interested in the UK personally, but if I were, I would be very facilitated because the offices are in contact and they are preparing, lists of people that want to take it. And then once you've qualified for F1, you will go directly into F2. USMLE, I think you already know what it is. Yes, you can just go to the US by taking the USMLE. I have those that are doing that for the UK are also doing the USMLE. So it's still a possibility, very real, absolutely. You take the USMLE, which anyway, even American doctors are going to have to take eventually. And I forgot to mention, IMS students have AMBOS, which is the tool that you use to prepare for the USMLE for free. I have it too. Yes. Yeah, University of Milan students have the AMBOS for free. So I've been using that quite a lot to also prepare for my exams. And then you could also go to Australia. We didn't put it here, but also Canada is a possibility. For Canada, there is the CAT MCQ, which is multiple choice question test, and a clinical examination. So you will be evaluated both on your theoretical and practical knowledge. Now, let's look at some questions. Actually, I've never heard somebody applying for the Netherlands,
Yeah, me neither, honestly.
I've heard a lot of people apply for Switzerland. I've heard a lot of people apply for UK and USMLE, but I've never heard anybody from Switzerland, from the Netherlands. I'm sorry.
It's new to me too, actually.
Yeah, that's the first one, but I will look into it. Thank you for...
What if they pay good and the benefits are good? Let's see.
I mean, let's look into it.
Maybe it's a good
I don't have time to learn Dutch, though. That's the problem.
I learned Italian, so why not? Let's learn
exactly.
at this point.
Okay.
We will get to...
Yes, don't worry. I wanted to answer a bit about Padova. I have a uni guide that I worked from it with a very nice girl that I befriended that was an ex-student of ours. And Padova is a very good university city, also preclinical and clinical. The clerkships are just in one hospital. However, you may end up going to Treviso, which is not in Padova, which is a bit further, but that's very rare for international students. But please check out the uni guide because there's really everything that you need to know.
Okay, now let's talk a bit more about the IMAT test. So, what is IMAT? It's an abbreviation of International Medical Admission Test in Italy. It's a standardized test used for admission in Italian medical schools. Okay, it consists in 60 multiple choice questions that you have with 5 options each to be answered in 100 minutes. These are divided into these 5 categories. We have 4 questions regarding reading skills and general knowledge, 5 of logical reasoning and problem solving, 23 of biology. So you understand that biology plays a big part in those in our admission tests. 15 of chemistry because
subject is biology.
23 of biology, 15 of chemistry, and 13 questions of maths and physics. So it's a wide variety of subjects. You have to prepare. You have to have a good preparation on all of them, so you have your best chances. And let's also see where we can take those tests. As you can see, the list is quite long. You can take the IMAT test nearly in almost every big city. You can search, you go on Google and search for your country, name of country plus IMAT test locations, and probably there is one. Okay, here are the main ones, or all of them.
Yes. No, they are all of them. They're all of them, actually. Just so you know, that's not a shameless promo, but it is. No, but on our blog, we have a very, very big article just dedicated to IMAT, where we have all the test centers, everything you need to know. We also have a step-by-step registration video, which I know that a lot of you are going to like, because I know that the registration is a big, stressful process. So go check it out if you want to have more information about the test centers. These are not official test centers for IMAT 2024. However, we really don't expect them to change, to be honest. They haven't changed in the last 5 years, 6 years, so I don't expect them to change right now.
One question on residency.
Yes, you can. I'm sorry that your parents interrupted you, but you're gonna be able to watch this live again later, so don't worry.
Okay, so the available spots are the sum of the position of the spots we showed before. So for medicine and surgery, we have a total of 919 spots for European candidates, distributed in 42 in dentistry and 961 in medicine. And for non-European candidates, we have 475 for medicine and surgery and 18 for dentistry, so a total of 493. We will get to it. We're getting there slowly.
This is the IMAT part. Please, we will answer it. Come on.
Patience. Okay.
I know. We said it was only going to be an hour, but we like to talk, and we love that you guys are asking a lot of questions.
Okay, here we are. We got to the part. Okay. So when will the IMAT 2024 take place? It will take place on Tuesday, 17th of September. Okay. So for the pre-enrollment and all the other important key days, remember, we don't have specifics at the moment because the regulations have not come out yet. We expect them to be out shortly, probably at the start of July.
Yeah, mid-July, because technically we're already in July. But yeah, around mid-July, we think, based on our experience, that's when the ministerial decree come out. And just because the ministerial decree has not come out yet, that does not mean we can hypothesize a probable date for every little thing that you're supposed to do. So later on, there's going to be our hypothesis of the dates that you have to remember later.
At the time being, we just know that the test is going to be on the 17th of September. Okay? So,
what is a good score for IMAT? I saw some questions about the minimum scores. So I wanted to do a practical example and compare the IMAT 2023 test versus the IMAT 2021 test. Right now, we're not going to be talking about scores. We're going to be talking about positions, because positions give you an idea on who scored better than others. Okay? So let's go with IMAT 2021. You see that up to around position 900, people were able to reach their first choice. Okay? Position 900, usually there are about 5 to 7K people that pass the IMAT test, so they score more than 20 points. So that's a very good score. Okay? Maybe it's between 900 and almost 2,800, okay? Again, very, very good. So that means that they were not able to get into their first choice, but they were able to get into their second, third, maybe even fifth or sixth. And then people over position 200 and almost 2,800 for medicine and around 3,000 for dentistry were not able to get in, okay? But that means more than half the ranking. So it's not overall bad. That meant that the IMAT was not very competitive that year. Now, let's look at last year's test. Do you see the difference? Okay, so do you see how much more competitive it got? So here, the people that were able to definitely get into their first choice were only up to around 350. 350 over 900, it's almost a third. And the last position of this year was 1,300, which is in Catania, which was a very new thing. So basically almost half of that of last year. And dentistry even scored much better. Point is, I know you want to know a minimum score. I know you want to know what a good score is. Point is, don't focus on the score because it doesn't make sense to do so. Every year is going to have a different test. Every year is going to be differently competitive. And every year it's going to have its own rules. So you have to focus on doing better than the others and doing the best you can. Especially non-European students, because they have a separate ranking and it's much, much more competitive. I wish that, yes, it's possible to do both the IMAT exam and the Italian medical exam. Absolutely, yes. I did it, he did it, I passed both, he passed both. And then we chose two different universities ultimately. But yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
We have, let's see. Do I have to pre-register on the university website?
I got you. Again, another question that we're going to talk about. So, which requirements do I need to study medicine in Italy? Let's look at them one by one. A high school diploma of at least 12 years of education. That's why A-level exams are perfect, because they are of at least 12 years. If you're at university, great, you can do that. However, I know that there are some countries that offer O-level examinations that are just 11 years. Unfortunately, those are not going to be good diplomas at all. So you're not going to be able to apply for the IMAT if you have just 11 years of school. You're going to need 12. And you're going to need a certification to prove that you've passed all 12. Okay? Declaration of value or saimia. In Italian, declaration of value is called dichiarazione di valore. Now, don't worry. I know you're going to ask, oh my God, what is that? It's going to be there in a second. The IMAT test, or if you want to study in a private university, the test for private universities. And a copy of your ID and a picture of your beautiful face. Nothing else at all. I know that Bicocca says that they may require an English certificate. You can take the English certificate once you have enrolled. So, you enroll into Bicocca, you have 1 year to take
It's not a requirement to enroll. You can do it in the first year.
Exactly. You have 1 year to take an exam in the language that you study in. Believe me, it's going to be very easy. Now, moving on, what are declaration of value and saimia? Basically, cutting things short, the declaration of value is something that states that your level of education is similar to that of the Italian in those specific things. For example, it contains information about the highest level of education you have achieved. So maybe you've just done high school, maybe you've done a bachelor's degree, maybe you've done a PhD. Every single highest level of education that you've done, your transcript of records, how many years you've attended, everything, okay? However, it needs to be first translated into Italian and then certified by a notary. These are two very important things. remember them. And how do you do a declaration of value? You have to call the Italian consulate of the country that issued your diploma. What does that mean? It means, let's say that Yannis did high school in Greece, but then he moved to Italy, okay? He moved to Italy because he wanted to study here medicine. So he was already in Italy when he was applying for the IMAT. To get his declaration of value, he has to call the Italian consulate in Greece. Okay? It's exactly what that means. You got it? Everything clear? So that's what it means. And please ask for it very early, because translation, notary certification, getting your declaration of value takes a long time. So ask for it as early as you can.
Like today.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can.
Don't finish the live at least, please.
Yeah, not right now, maybe, but just do it as early as you can.
How you an Italian citizen can get Dov if they did high school outside? Okay, yes, that means that they have to call. Let's say, I don't know, that I attended school in Germany, but I'm Italian. Okay, that means I have to call the Italian consulate in Germany. That's it. Okay. That's all that it means. So the country that issued your diploma, on your diploma, it's gonna say the Italian country, the Swiss country, everything you call the Italian embassy of that country. Okay, the Italian consulate of that country. Sorry. I have done my DOV for this foundation here in my home country. Do I still need to do another DOV for? I mean, that depends on if something changes between this year and next year. If you have done your DOV right now, but you are not doing any kind of study and nothing has changed like academically in that year, it's still valid. But of course, if you take another year abroad, or if you do an Erasmus, or if you get a degree, or if you graduate somewhere, then yes. And again, don't worry about IMAT 2025. Let's focus about IMAT 2024. Alternatively, so they are not done together. They can be done either DOV or SAINIA. SAINIA is the Center for Information on Mobility and Academic Equivalences. Basically, what does it do? It provides a service for students that want to get the recognition in Italy of a degree that they obtained somewhere else. So exactly what you need. Now, for this event, I have a surprise, because I released today an article that one of our colleagues wrote about SAINIA and step-by-step process on how to do SAINIA. It's very, very useful if you want. But here's a little something for you to know. So it's done online on that website. Again, you need a translated high school diploma and your personal ID. You can do it either urgent or standard. Of course, the urgent costs more, and it will be sent online. So if you want the certification done by paper, give the money. This is the Italian gesture for money. So
pay up.
Exactly. Okay, so in the DOV, it asks you to specifically name the university and location. If I apply for the DOV and perchance I don't get into my first choice, do I need to get the DOV done again? Well, that's the thing between non-EUs and EUs. Non-EUs only compete for their first choice university. So if you are a non-EU and you want to get into Milan, you're only going to be able to compete for Milan. If you're an EU student and you want to get into Milan, you're going to be able to compete for Milan, but you're going to have to list all the other preferences. So you're going to be able to list Bologna, you're going to be able to list Polimarche, everything you want. That's a problem with the non-EU students. However, the problem is that if you don't get in, you can try again next year. Yes, of course, you are going to have, if you want to try for different universities, for a different university, you're going to have to change the DOV, indeed. If you want to try for the same, there's no need to change. However, that's not going to happen if you know how to properly prepare for the IMAT. So now let's not focus on what if something goes wrong. Let's focus on what something goes right. Non-EU application process. It's mandatory for all non-European students. So please, if you're non-EU, ears out. done online on universally.it. Remember this website because it's going to be your worst nightmare.
True.
You must have the DOV or Saia ready when you do this because it's basically it's the Italian government and your embassy speaking to each other, knowing, yes, we agree on him coming to Italy to study in that specific university. That's what pre-enrollment is all about. And it indicates the university and the program you are applying to. That's what you were referring to before. So that's why non-EU students can only indicate one choice. Because if a non-EU student was going to get a pre-visa or a pre-approbation of studying in Italy, how would the Italian ministry say yes? How would the embassy say yes if you say, oh, I'm going to be studying either here or here or here or here? I don't know yet. They need certainties. That's why you only apply for one university. Pardon. I even got French. And yes, you have to specify the embassy where you will apply for a visa, the Italian embassy where you will apply for a visa. Which embassy is it? It's the embassy of your country, the country where you currently live in. So even if you are American but live in China, you're gonna call the embassy, Italian embassy in China, okay? These are the steps that are common to almost every single country. However, as Italian bureaucracy is and feels like, you're gonna find out very soon, it tends to vary and change quite a bit. So please, 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 that is something that I cannot stress enough. Call your local embassy when doing pre-enrollment, before doing pre-enrollment, and say, hello, I want to take the IMAT. I want to study medicine in Italy here. I know that I need this form and that form. Is there something else I need to do? Question mark. They're going to say, yes, you also need this, you also need that. Or I also want a signed letter of acceptance from one of your teachers. Okay, good. But, oh no, sorry, my bad. I went. Thank you. No? Okay, well, okay.
Problem solved.
Exactly. Might be a bit where it is in the application. Okay, so pre-enrollment is open right now. It opened in March. It's going to end, I think, around July. So technically it ends when the time for registration ends. So technically we don't know yet when it's going to end. It's better if you do it as soon as possible, though.
Try to anticipate it as much as you can.
Yes, because let's say that the Ministerial Decree or Bando in Italian comes out tomorrow, okay? And it says that you only have 2 weeks to register for the IMAT. This is the pre-enrollment step. This means that to register for the IMAT non-EUs, you must have this step. If you don't do it by the time you need to register, you're not going to be able to do it anymore and you're not going to be able to register for the IMAT. So there's really not a deadline specifically yet. However, please do it as soon as possible, okay? Oh, wow, okay, yeah, no, we're going to leave those for the Q&A, I'm sorry. Now, let's move on to the common application process, which is the IMAT registration. We have a step-by-step video. When is the registration going to be available? Again, probably around July, August. Not sure yet, but that's what we anticipate, to be honest. Beginning of August, of course. Online, again, Universally, you must indicate your first choice, which is going to be the only choice possible for non-EUs. For EUs, instead, you can choose also your whole amount of preference list. Then you pay. The fee is 130 euros. Remember that once you pay, your first choice is locked in. You cannot change your first choice anymore. Whereas you students, you can continue to change your second and third and fourth preference until the deadline of the application of the IMAT registration, okay? And then you have to choose a test center where you will sit for the IMAT. Once everything is done, you will have 2 emails. One confirming the registration, one confirming that you've paid the fee. Why do you have to print them? Because you're gonna have to bring them with you on the day of the test. Do not forget them with your ID, of course, because otherwise they're not gonna let you sit for the test. So please, Hi. I would reply to you in French, but I would not be, including most of the community. We're gonna be putting subtitles at the end of this live. So if you want to, watch it again with subtitles so that you feel more comfortable, please feel free to do so. Now, you were asking about pre-enrollment and pre-registration. So,
what's the difference?
Exactly. Pre-enrollment is done through University, and again, it's very important for obtaining a visa. That's what I was telling you before. Okay? And for obtaining a visa and to register for the IMAT too. Open right now and around, here we said June, July. We're not really sure when it's going to end, but do it as soon as possible. And again, not only non-EU students need to do it. What is pre-registration? Pre-registration is something that instead some universities require. It's not something super complicated. It's just that every single university has a different process. So if you have that as first choice, be advised, okay? So you have to do that through their website. If you go on the big IMAT 2024 article I mentioned before, you're gonna find directly the links for all of those 3 pre-registration pages. And both EUs and non-EU students that want to study in Turin, Messina, or Pavia need to do it. Here's a sort of sum up table for you, since I think it's a bit more clear, okay? Good.
Okay, a couple of study tips for IMAT. Let's see. First of all, do review and plan is the best summary I could think of. You start by studying what you don't know, you review what you've studied and try to see what you're missing, plan a way to fill those gaps, and then you start again. That's the whole process you should use. So try to improve as much as you can on the subjects that you know are not your best. Okay, if for example you hate maths and physics, try working on that a little bit more. If biology is your problem, try working on that. Okay, don't get discouraged by other people's success, because you shouldn't be interested in what other people do. Okay, this is your journey, this is your preparation. Focus on yourself, on what you should prepare, on what you don't know, what you do know, what you should do for your preparation, and don't look at the others. You shouldn't be concerned about others. Okay, the only thing that you'll get out of that is probably anxiety, which doesn't help you for the test. Okay, set realistic goals and stick to them. I had a friend of mine that tried to prepare and was like, okay, today I'm gonna study 300 pages of biology, and I'm like, yeah, but no. Like, do something realistic. Okay, don't try to condense everything maybe in a week, or do something that you know you're not able to do with the time you have or with the abilities. Set more realistic goals, because if they're more realistic, they're easier to stick to. Okay, you want to say something?
No, I wanted to say that that's what I really do every exam. That I say, oh yeah, I'm gonna study 100 pages a day, and then I have 10,000 things to do, and I never do it.
And we're sleep deprived.
Yes, and then I have to stay up until 3 a.m. to do the 100 pages that I said to do. That's why I study with people that set more realistic goals than I do, because they're better than me.
I started doing that recently because I was like, I'm gonna do it. Then I found myself like a week from the exam, like, okay, I don't have the time. I'm gonna do that. So I started studying with a friend that sets time goals, and it's way easier when you have something like that.
Believe me, the power of friendship is real when you study medicine.
When I graduate with the last part of my thesis, I'm gonna write thanks to my friend who helped me graduate. Otherwise, I wouldn't have
absolutely. A little tip for when you will get into medicine: find a study buddy and stick to them as hard as you can if you like them. If you don't, just
I agree. Them. And as I said before, start from the topic you're most weak at. That's because if you tend to leave it at the end, you won't dedicate as much time as you need on that subject. If you do it at the beginning, you mostly give more time on that subject and less on the others. But the fact is that if that's your weakest one, it's best to prepare on that and do a little bit less on the others. Okay, just try to equilibrate your levels on the different subjects, because if this one is at 0 and the others are at 90, there's no point in perfectioning something that you already know at a good level and leave something else. just start from the weakest one, build it up, and then you can do perfection.
Yeah, you can perfect, you can improve.
Perfect all of them. Okay.
Now, what is the summer school? Okay, so first of all, since we just got the dates for our, IMAT courses, I'm gonna give them to you. So we have the July theory session that is going to be done online from the 6th to the 28th. Then we have the August one that is going to be the same date to the summer school, so I'm not gonna spoil it to you. Then the practice is going to be between the 5th and the 11th of September, and the revision is going to be between the 14th and the 15th of September. So please keep those dates in mind if you ever want to enroll in one of our courses and you want to start studying with us. You can actually meet our faces. Yes. So again, it gives you the IMAT preparation here in Milan. Here actually where we are, it's going to be. So you're gonna actually be able to meet us in person and talk to us, not through
we
a
are
screen.
real persons, we exist. We're not AI.
And Yanis is much taller than me, as you saw before.
Let's remind them.
Let's remind them.
Here we are. Okay.
Yeah, he's actually taller. He's just squatting a little.
I'm sitting down. I have a chair right here, so we're the same height.
And that's not gonna be all, because you're also going to learn a bit of Italian through language lessons. So you're gonna learn how to handle Italian people, because here in Milan, almost everyone speaks English. Not every city in Italy has the same mindset of you have to know English in order to communicate with others. So knowing the basics of Italian and how to, not get scammed, it's always nice. Then something that a lot of our students really like, which is 360 degrees support on bureaucracy. Yes, also the IMAT test bureaucracy. SIM card, accommodation, find housing, everything from when you start to the day of the test and after. So until you come to Italy and are settled down. Believe me, do not underestimate that.
Oh, that's the hardest part.
And of course, that's not gonna be, it's not gonna be all fun and no play. We're also going to learn a bit of the Italian culture. We're gonna go and do aperitivo together. We're gonna go on trips, pizza, pasta.
Mandolino.
Yeah, exactly. He's studying stereotypes, but really, come on, who doesn't?
It's not like that. I have to say, after those 3 years here,
who doesn't like Italy for food? Come on.
It's amazing, guys. The food is amazing. Like, best choice of my life.
And it's from the 19th to the 25th of August, like our online theory in August. If you want to know more, or if you're interested, even just for, to get a bit of a feeling of what we're going to do, what are the dates going to be like, how much is it, you can schedule a free consultation with us. It only takes 30 minutes talking with me or with other, people that are going to teach you at the summer school. And then if you like it, we can keep talking and we can talk more. So please do this free consultation, because I think you are not going to regret it. Okay? Good. Now, before I wanted to look at this question, the one going back to DOV. Yes, you first do the DOV or Saia, and then you do the pre-enrollment, basically. Do you have a blog for? Yes, we do. Of course we do. I got you there. We have a blog for DOV the same way that we have for Saia. However, that for DOV came out much earlier. So that for Saia just came out today. That's why I was mentioning it. If I am an EU student, then how many universities can I apply to? All of them. Ideally, all of them. You just have to be careful about your preference lists. But that's a story for another event. I'm sorry, I'm not going to spoil too much right now.
This is us when we hear the word bureaucracy, because Italian bureaucracy is not the best, I have to say.
Come on, I mean, I'm Italian and I got stuck on bureaucracy quite a while. So yeah, that's why a help from somebody that knows what bureaucracy is, and for everything, it's very, very good, believe me.
And she knows bureaucracy, guys. If there's someone that knows...
I mean, I'm the bureaucracy girl. Why did I talk about bureaucracy? And I'm the bureaucracy girl.
I talked about experience. She has the bureaucracy. She's the expert on the subject.
I'm the bureaucracy girl. No, I was about to say a bad word. I can't curse here. So, what happens after the IMAT? First of all, you rest. you rest. You're gonna be tired by that point, so you rest. However, the Italian Ministry of University and Research releases something that we call anonymous ranking that comprises both EU and non-EU candidates, probably between late September and early October. These are the dates that we expect, knowing the official IMAT date. Then you're gonna be able to access your personal score 1 to 2 weeks later. Can we get an idea of the minimum score for that year's IMAT just by the anonymous ranking? No, we can get an idea of the minimum scores for the first scrolling. So when the ranking comes out, we can get an idea on when the ranking is roughly going to stop. We cannot get an idea of how much it's going to keep scrolling and keep moving on until it exhausts all its available places. However, this ranking is something only for European and non-EU students living in Italy, yes, that have something that we call permesso di soggiorno, so which is something that allows you to live in Italy, but that's another story. Non-EU students or EU students and non-EU students living in Italy are going to be part of the official ranking that is going to be released probably around mid-October. On the other hand, non-EU students around the same date for when the official ranking is released are going to have to go on the university website of the first choice that they applied to, and they're going to have to check the single ranking of the single university. That's why I was saying before that non-EU students have a much higher competition than EU students, because EU students can apply for multiple universities and their ranking even scrolls. So let's say that Yannis didn't get into Milan as its first choice, but he had put Padova as his second. He could have been already enrolled in Padova and studying there, no problem. He didn't lose the chance to, get into medicine in Italy. Non-EUs instead have a ranking for a single university, and that ranking, it's it. So if Milan says that it's only going to take 25 people, it's only going to take the first 25 people off that list. It's not going to scroll. That makes it crazy competitive. So please, non-EU students, be careful for competition. You are the ones that have to do much better than the others. Okay?
True.
Then you enroll, and that's why we have the uni guides for you, because every single procedure is different one university to the other. So you go on our uni guides, you go on the university you've enrolled, and you follow that exact same process. And classes are going to start from late October to mid-November. Then, what's going to happen for non-EU students? The extra step, you need pre-enrollment for visa, applying for the student visa. And last, the great part, moving to Italy. Usually universities are very chill for non-EU students. You can move much later than EU students, which tend to be, in presence a bit earlier because it's not as hard for them. So don't worry, they know the struggles of moving to Italy, finding housing, getting the visa, every single thing. So they're not going to penalize you for that, even if court classes are indeed in presence. So now, which documents are needed to come to Italy to study? Now, in Italy, we say something like, thanks, Chiara, thanks a lot. It's easy that I need a passport.
Obviously.
Then you need a visa and it's a student visa, because it's the permission to stay and live in Italy for a specific duration and for a specific purpose. Your purpose is studying. The permit of stay, which is something that you get after your visa. So it's the official authorization that, yes, I approve, you can come to Italy.
As you can see, bureaucracy is already complicated, okay?
Yes. As a non-EU student, the pressure is unreal. That's what we're here for, to make the pressure fun. Because he went through, no, you were EU.
We strive under pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Believe me, we do. I've studied 300 pages a day when I was under pressure. I have no idea how I did it, but I did it.
If we did it, you can do it.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
What is codice fiscale or fiscal code? It's basically a unique number that identifies you as a person. It's essential for a lot of things. Did you have to get your codice fiscale?
I did.
How was the procedure?
Can I just say that I don't remember because it was like I did it 3 years ago. Honestly, from the amount of bureaucracy I had to go through, from passports, different enrollments, codice fiscale here and there,
Yeah,
I
it's
do not
not
recall,
easy.
but it was not easy. It was quite long. It took a couple of months.
But once you get it, it's
But
great.
once you get it, life becomes way much easier because it's like you're Italian. They recognize
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Once you have a codice fiscale, they're like, okay, he's been here some time. It's okay. And everything in bureaucracy becomes a bit easier.
Yeah.
So when you can, just do it.
So moving on to academic documents, the certificate of admission of the university or the acceptance letter, it's basically the same thing. And the academic transcript of records. Of course, if you already did the DOV, that's great. You just only have to take that. That's basically the same thing. And then you're moving to healthcare documents because yes, even if healthcare in Italy is public and free for everybody, you may need to have a health insurance because for some visa requirements, international students may need even a health insurance just to make sure, you know. And the health insurance card or tessera sanitaria, that is a little card that you use to access every healthcare services in Italy, and it also may give you some discounts if you have some medicine that are prescribed to you. So let's say that you have a medicine medically prescribed that usually costs 100 euros, you can buy it for 15. So yeah, much less.
It's a good deal, let's just say.
Yeah. And last, financial documents. What is the proof of sufficient financial means of stay? Basically, somebody that says, I can support you while you're studying here. Usually it's your parents, but it can also be yourself. So you can have a bank statement or a certificate of deposit that you have enough financial means not to live under the streets, basically. If you're here on a scholarship, great. You have to give the proof that you're here on a scholarship. And last, where your accommodation will be. So if you have a rental agreement or somebody that says you can stay at my place. Now, if you want to know more, we have partnered with a company that is called Italian for a while that helps not only do gap years in Italy, but it also helps a bit with the bureaucracy. So counseling services for moving to Italy. And they have a lot of good articles that you may look at if you want to, you know more about the whole coming in process, which documents do you need, how to get a SIM card. They have done everything. So you can go check out their blog here by clicking the QR code. It's time for you guys. Come on, give us your best. Give us all you got.
If it's bureaucracy, it's yours.
Yeah, of course, I know it's bureaucracy, it's mine. Okay, it's Q&A time.
I'm here for support.
Yeah.
And
he did great. Which competition is easier, the EU or the non-EU students?
Okay, that I know.
Come on, tell me.
It's the EU.
Yeah.
Because as we said before, the non-EU competition is you compete only for your first choice. So since the places for that university that you're applying are limited, let's say 15, you have to be in the top 15 places, okay? If you are non-EU and you maybe don't get in your first choice, then you pass to your second one or the third one. It's, it's graduatoria.
Ranking.
The ranking scrolls. So if you don't get in the first one, you pass to the second and third one, and then after that the fourth, and goes on like that. So
He's so used about speaking in Italian that he forgot how to say ranking. I love it.
Because when you don't use English in
Yeah,
university,
I know.
I came here by knowing English, and after that I was like, okay, I don't need it right now because I have to learn Italian. So I overwritten everything in English, and now Italian is like my second language, and English is the third. So
yeah, wow, come on. I would give him a round of applause, to be honest. He's doing great at Italian. And what percent? Oh, also something that I wanted to mention is actually that EU competition is getting harder and harder. So that doesn't mean that if you're an EU student, you can just stay chill. Because again, position 300 for the IMAT is extremely low for the first choice. So yeah, be safe, guys. Don't sit down.
Give it your best try.
Yeah.
Don't be chill about it.
What percentage of students plan to go abroad and do their specialization, and why do they choose to study abroad? Well, that really depends. To be honest, they choose to maybe go back to their home country. Maybe they want to do a residency program that they specifically like in one country more than others. Some of them, there are people that don't enjoy Italy, that they come to Italy expecting something and then they expect something else. Many people, luckily, like our country and want to stay in, but some of them just don't. And some just have, for example, the American dream, the overall unending American dream. and they don't want to spend, again, 8K, 80K times 8. So,
and lastly, the fact that, as we've said before, if the residency program here, you have to take an Italian test to get into. So typically international students that study in English, they tend to try to take other residencies abroad just because they're in English. Okay?
Yeah.
It's also that.
Okay, I like this question. I like it a lot. How much vacation time do you get as a medical student? Well, technically, on the 9th of July, I'm going to have my last fifth year exam. So until October, I'm going to be free to do as much vacation time as I want. Basically, we have summer sessions, and we have a period of lectures and a period of clerkship, and then we have a period of time where we do all of our exams. The earlier we finish our exams, the earlier we go on vacation. So I'm about to finish my last exam, and then I can go on vacation up until the lesson starts again. Of course, you can also sort of vacation when you do lessons. So yeah, I've done that. I'm guilty of it. But I would not suggest doing it when you're doing the exam session. That's pretty hard.
Honestly, the time depends on how much you studied during the semester, honestly. Because if during the semester you study a lot, you manage to take your exams earlier at the first date that you can take the exam, and then you're on vacation. If you don't study that much, or you have a lot of things to do in your life, maybe you need a bit more time to prepare the exam, and you have less time for...
We are getting so many questions. I was not expecting
Yeah.
it. Wow, thank you guys.
we work here, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the next one is yours. Is it Italian
yeah.
easy to learn, and what language would you compare it to?
Okay,
Yannis?
so I think it's pretty easy, I have to say that, but I will tell you why from my perspective. I was born in Greece, so I speak Greek, and
Yep.
I also learned English. So what I found out when I moved here is that Italian is a mix, modern Italian is a mix of Greek, Latin, and English. Okay, some English words are used everywhere. So the fact that I already knew Greek and English at a good level really helped me. Like when I came here, it took me 2-3 months to start understanding. Obviously, I took a couple extra lessons because it's not like you move here and you automatically know the language. You need to take a couple of courses. But in a short time, I was able to understand everything and speak in an average way, let's say. It took me approximately a year to be fluent, like to the point that people don't know I'm not Italian when I speak. Okay, I would compare it to those three languages because I think it's kind of a mix. Medicine has a lot of Greek in it. That's why, obviously, Italian language in general is more of Latin with newer English words that we use.
Usually they compare us with Spanish. So if you know Spanish, I think you're not gonna... I mean, for me, French was very easy to learn.
Spanish.
I mean, me too, actually. But like for me, French was very easy to learn because it's kind of similar to Italian. So even if you know French, if you know Spanish,
Don't die.
It's gonna be much easier. I'm sorry. Okay. Wow, we got so many in like so little time. Okay. I did bad on my O levels, but I'm a foundation year student as of now. But I did well on IMAT. I get accepted. Okay, so basically, I also saw a question that like, if I passed my 12 years of high school, does the grade matter? It does not matter. You may have gotten a 60%, you may have gotten a D, you may have gotten an A+, you may have gotten 100% with honors. Does not matter. The important thing is that you passed. So you did better on your O levels, but if you have a degree that certifies that you are doing university or that you have a higher university degree, you can just present that. So the important thing is that you completed at least 12 years of school. However, go look on the article I was telling you about IMAT 2024 because there is a whole lot more detailed information also about the 11 years, so the O levels.
Sure.
Now, may I ask about choosing candidates?
I saw that question before.
Okay, well, again, I'm a 2024 article, short answer. Long answer, first, it's going to matter your logical reasoning score, then your biology score, then your chemistry, and lastly, your maths and physics. If everything is the same in all four, then the youngest candidate wins. And if they were born on the same date, then the English certification wins. So technically, yes, you do need an English certification, but like after a lot of things.
There are a lot of criteria before that.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
So I didn't submit an English certification and I was fine. Transcript of record. So what do I need it both from Italy and England if you studied in both countries? No, you need it from where you finished your 12 years of high school. Yes. By what date does the DOV needs to be submitted? By the date in which you do pre-enrollment. Give me the list of medicine school with the number. Watch, either you go on our Instagram page or you watch back our live. And how long is your residency? And after completing the residency, are you a specialist? Yes, you are a specialist. The residency changes. If you're a medical practitioner, general practitioner is 3 years. For most of them, it's 5. And for just one in neurosurgery, it's 6. And then, should I pre-register to the 3 universities even though they aren't my first choice? And which documents are required? You should pre-register if they are your first choice, not if they're not your first choice. The documents that are required change by university to university, so I suggest you to go look at, again, the big IMAT 2024 article with the single pages, because that's when they will put the different requirements. Okay. Okay, if a student passes the Italian test, should he stay in the medicine? I mean, that depends on you. So if you would like to study medicine in English, you take the IMAT, you pass the IMAT, and you enroll in IMAT. If you don't, if you prefer the Italian language, and if you pass the Italian language and want to stay in the Italian system, go ahead. But those are not conflicting at all. The thing is that the syllabus for the English test and the Italian test are kind of the same. They change a little bit year by year. So if you studied for one, it's going to be much easier for you to study also for the IMAT.
True.
Okay, I already answered to that. I already answered also to that. Are certain grades in A levels required? No. Again, I already answered to that too. Good. Should I pre-register to the 3? No, I already answered. Sorry.
Let's ask you.
Yeah, but yes, absolutely.
That's
I mean, if you've studied for the Italian medical test, which has already passed, and it's about to do the second, the second session is about to come out, then all you need to do is keep revising, keep doing tests, in English, of course, in this case, and keep doing a lot of exercises. That's it. Okay, so if there are no more questions, please, it's just 2 minutes. Please fill out this evaluation questionnaire because we really need feedback. This was our big first event, and we would like to know how well we did, if we can improve something, if you would like to see something else. So please scan this. It takes just 2 minutes of your time, but for us, it's really important. Yes, please do. And if you found it a little bit helpful and you want to help us improve, please.
We have more questions.
Okay. Can I move from the Italian to the English? Not for all of them. You cannot directly move. You have to pass the IMAT. However, some do require the move. That really depends. Milan does not, for example. Milan, you can only move from one English to the next. Is English the same quality in public? Yes.
Yes.
It is. Yes, you will be able to apply even in October. However, if you want to apply for your first choice, you can do a pre-scholarship application. What I suggest you do, since it changes uni by uni, is contact the office of your first choice university, because you will be able to do a pre-admission scholarship for your first choice, and then if you get admitted into another choice, then you will do the late one. No, you should not do anything else when pre-enrolling. Okay, so follow us on social media. You want to see my beautiful face? No, please. Yes, we have TikTok, we have Instagram, and we also are here on YouTube. And this is the last surprise. We have a discount code for all of our starting courses and for the summer school. It's going to be valid until the 3rd of July, Central European time, so our time, and that is the code. For those of you that registered, you will also get an email explaining step by step the discount code and how to do it. Please save the discount code. And thank you so much for coming. We are finished. We really hope you enjoyed the live. We enjoyed a lot of your help and your support and a lot of questions that you got. And if you would like, we will see you again very soon.
for those last questions that you're asking, I think we've already
Yes, we've
answered
already
those.
replied, or we will reply on the comments of the YouTube video.
Exactly. So you can watch the live again in case you missed something, or watch the comments, see the comments under the live.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.